Hello Libra, welcome to your monthly forecast. As always, you can use this for your sun, your rising, and for your moon sign. Now, as I was selecting a deck of cards for you this month and starting to meditate on what information wanted to come through, the key thing that I got for you was to remain as unguarded and open as possible. And I'm going to summarize this as open-mindedness, but again, the key word here is to remain open to different points of view, to unusual solutions to problems, to challenges to the way you would conventionally think or run your life. And the constructive criticism is really important because there may be somebody in your life that is really trying to help you, and the way in which they present that information may not come across that way. Just stay open-minded, and you can always say, thanks, I'm going to take it under consideration, or I'll sleep on it, or I'll think about it. And really do honor those words if you're going to say that, and try to empathize, try to think about how this could change the situation for the better or for the worse, and then make your decision. So pause before deciding and really work on taking down some of the mental barriers that you might have in place that are preventing you from seeing creative solutions, new ideas, and possibly coming to a point of compromise or peace, an agreement with someone that you might have had a falling out with. So we'll take a look at the cards and see if there's additional insight, but in the meantime, keep an open mind, be receptive to different forms of feedback and communication, and see if it doesn't make the month a little bit better. As I shuffle the deck here, I just want to give you a quick review of how I organize each of these readings. For those of you that are returning, I just want to say thank you, but for anybody that's new, every month I like to pull Celtic Cross just to see the main information and insight for the month, aside from that channeled bit, and then I will expand the forecast afterwards to include health, wealth, love, and destiny. And this really gives you a nice rounded view of all the information that needs to come through for your sign. Let's take one more card here. This is what I call a catalyst. It's one of two bookends when I look at each month. This shows how the month starts off and how everything's connected. And at the end, when I look at destiny, that shows, are you happy with the direction in which you're currently headed? And if not, then you can change it. So the Fool card is your catalyst for this month, which is reminding you to get out, to talk to new people, to walk away from things that don't offer you some sort of either a lesson or fulfillment. This is basically saying it's okay sometimes to move on. And you might be at a point in your life where you're ready to just change jobs, change relationship status, or also try something new. It's a card of travel as well, and freelancing if you're an independent contractor. So the key sort of message here, which ties in nicely with the channeled information, is freedom, openness, fluidity. And so let's take a look at this month as being one where you're going to step outside of your comfort zone, you're going to allow for new ideas to flow in and out, and you're going to allow anything that was stagnating to no longer be stagnating. The center, we have the Sun card in reverse. The Sun card, generally speaking, is a very positive beacon here. It shows you that your charisma is one of your biggest assets. It also shows you that anything that you've been stressing out about is likely to turn out a little bit better than you thought. The reversal on this is a warning, however, to not get too wrapped up in your own person or let your ego get in the way, because typically in the Sun card you'll see like a little baby, and the baby is about innocence, it's about joy, it's about the charisma, but it's also about putting your needs first. And so when the card is reversed, that sentiment comes through, at least for me. And I would say it's important for you in conversations this month, in relationships and in work situations, to always make sure that you are looking at the other person and anticipating or asking or empathizing with what they need. We have the Knight of Cups here, showing me that it's actually a very good month for relationships. The same warning, though, comes through because it's right on top of that. And perhaps it's your partner, perhaps it's you. There's one side of the equation where the person is thinking a little bit more of themselves. What you want to do here is, if it is you, just work on doing something spontaneously for the other person to show you care, or sitting down and listening more than you're speaking, and it's going to go a long way with that person, and also just everyone in your life will benefit from that generosity of your time. As we look at Deep Past, I get a sense of and I've seen this over the course of the year here, but a sense of wanting to move on to the next step. The Ten of Wands is a card of graduation and movement. Often for some people, it's even a physical move. The reversal of this shows me, though, that there's still a little work to do before you can do that. So if it's a project, it reminds me of putting something back on the stove to cook a little bit. There's a little bit more of gestation or revision that needs to happen. But what comes out of this is something beautiful. So don't be disheartened if you have to do something and it feels like you're going back to the drawing board. I see it as a very small step, a very small push, and then there's this sense of freedom with this beautiful phoenix that rises from all of the works, all of the fruit of your labor. So as we look now at what's affecting you as the month begins, I feel like a lot of you are either in a point where you are seeking a deeper relationship with someone, or possibly trying to find new love. And if that's the case, this is a good month to go out, but the key is you're going to have to go out and be seen. The Sun card shows that, and this is also sort of in many decks it shows partnership, friendship, and being received well. So don't be afraid to go out, have a good time. The Knight of Cups here is a card of celebration, so if there's a party or a get-together, absolutely say yes, RSVP. Money situations are looking like they're your main focus, so stability, work, school, and money. These are the things that seem to be ruling this month for you. Focus on it, but don't let it be I would say, eclipsing other things in your life here. The outcome card shows the Ace of Pentacles. It is reversed, so what you might have to do this month is invest a little bit before you see a return. That can be a literal investment where there's money that's going out because you have to do a repair, there was an unexpected doctor bill, or you have to pay for services on something before you receive it, but it's still an Ace of Pentacles, which usually shows a new beginning around the corner. And also there's fertility and prosperity attached to this particular card. So what I'm seeing is a delay, but an eventual breakthrough when it comes to your money. As we look at the other cards here, creativity is really running high for you this month, particularly around the second and third week. For some of you, the new love interest may also be a Cancer. And if that's the case, I'm not seeing anything negative about this situation. Again, other than there may be a little bit of inequity with how deeply one side feels about the other, so take it slow. That would be my advice. Some of you may also be connecting with someone from the past, whether it's someone in your family or a lover. There's a little bit of unfinished business that you need to attend to. For many of you, this has to do with money or a contract, so make sure you get that finished as quickly as possible. Delayed travel for many of you as well, and the key thing here is maybe looking at a different form of transportation. So if you always take a plane, maybe look at a train or look at a bus or other things like that. When we're looking at the environment card, I see that there's a question of, are you ready to move on? Ready to move on from an argument, ready to move on from a feeling of not being in control. This card basically states, I have had enough, I am ready to move on. I'm going to take the lessons with me, and I'm not going to harbor any ill will. It's a card of forward momentum, but you have to make that decision of when enough is enough. As I look at hopes, fears, desired action, this month I feel like a lot of you are just wanting things to be a little bit easier, and I do sense overall that they are going to be. This card also reminds you that temperance begins within, so making sure that you're taking time to meditate, to take care of yourself, to rest, do everything you can, and also not to go to extremes. Not that Libra always does that, but there are some times when Libra wants to spoil itself, and this month it's saying, take it easy, take care of yourself. A little TLC is not bad, but don't overindulge in areas like drinking too much, eating too much, or spending too much. So let's now expand your forecast, and we'll start with the health card. And for me, health always includes mind, body, and spirit. And for you this month, your main focus for health is going to be sorting through facts versus fiction. We have Joan of Arc, which is the voice of truth. The other part of Joan of Arc is listening to your intuition. She was clairaudient, she was clairvoyant, and so I want you to pay attention. The card's reversed, so just like if I had pulled a High Priestess in reverse, I want you not to discount those pieces of intuition that may be coming through for you. It's also a chance for you to say what's on your mind, and without fear of what other people are going to say, because Joan of Arc did what she had to do, for better or for worse. But this month there may be something that you have to come out with and say, and if it has to do with health, you might have to have a heart-to-heart with your doctor about something that you care about, or you might need to set limits in your life so that your own health is in a better place. So maybe you're working too many hours and you need some time off, or you need to work from home, or you need to just put a limit on after 6 o'clock overtime, whatever it is. Something like that might be necessary, and that requires a difficult conversation. But that conversation that you're going to have will affect your health very positively overall. So speak your truth, set boundaries, listen to your intuition. Those are the messages when it comes to your health. When we take a look at your wealth, let's see what information and insight wants to make itself known. So we have commitment and difficulty in achieving or arriving at a commitment. So this could mean for you, contracts might be difficult to sign this month. Also, if you're trying to find a new job, you may have difficulty in saying yes, or they may have difficulty in making a decision. So if something's really important for you this month with money matters, you're going to have to fight for it. You're going to have to speak up. And if you're not getting the sort of feedback that you want, you might have to look for someone who's ready. Think of it in the same terms as if you were dating. If you're dating someone and they're having fun but they're never going to commit, then at a certain point you might decide that that's not good enough for you, or you want something different. The same is true if you're a contractor, or if you're looking for work and someone wants to bring you on a short-term basis, but you need that commitment. Just make sure that you're ready to say yes if someone's ready for the commitment as well. And if not, ask yourself, on the flip side, why are you continuing to either be in that relationship or be in that job, etc. All right, let's take a look now at love and relationships and see what your information is here. Let's give it a nice shuffle. One more time. Okay, so your relationship information this month is treasure loved ones, which goes back to what I was talking about earlier. Spending time with existing relationships, whether it's a lover, a friend, a family member. Really be close to those people. Let them know that you care. And that's going to go a long way in maintaining the sanctity and the future of those relationships. And now that other card that I was talking about, the bookend, showing you where you're headed, and if you like that trajectory, this one you can always change if you don't like. It's just showing where you're headed. We have the dolphin card, which is about being playful and using your intuition and your creativity in a playful way. Dolphins are also very intelligent. So the cool thing about kind of letting your guard down, having fun, is that people can see maybe your quick wit, your sense of humor, your ability to navigate a social situation with ease. So I want you to come out of your shell, particularly in a place of work, and don't be afraid to have fun and show another side of yourself. This card is really encouraging you to be you, and people are going to love you because of that. Let's go ahead and bring everything into focus, starting with your channeled information. I'm just going to review everything here. The key thing for you to do is to stay open-minded, to accept new thoughts, new ways of thinking, new creative solutions to existing problems, and not to say no, basically, until you've had a chance to really take in all of those areas. As we look at your catalyst for the month, we have the Fool, showing you that you're going to have to, for some of you, you might have to be more flexible. It is showing probably an abundance of short-term engagements in work. This isn't a card of commitments, and it's interesting that we pulled a card later that shows that you're going to have a hard time getting people to say yes to a long-term contract or commitment. As we look at all of the cards here, the center is saying things should work out. This is a better month for Libra. The Sun card is good. Try not to be too focused on yourself this month, though, particularly in relationships. Money matters are taking the center seat for you this month. Remember to have fun, be playful, both with your Destiny card here and also with the Moon card. You're going to have to invest more in relationships since the card is reversed. And I feel like there's a little bit more work to be done before you can let go of something, whether it's deciding to make a physical move, trying to sell a product, trying to get someone interested in something that you're doing, this month is more of a gestation period. There might be someone coming from your past. There's some issues attached to that with trust, and do you want to move on from that? Only you can really answer that. Remember, this month, it's really important for you to not go to extremes. Temperance reminds you to take it easy and also not be too extreme in judgments or the way that you're treating others. Overall, resources may be tapped out a little bit this month, but I don't see it as a long-term trend. As we expand to look at health, speak your truth, ask questions. Don't be afraid of what someone thinks, especially if it's something that's important to you. Listen, more importantly, to your intuition. Listen to those clairaudient and clairvoyant cues that are coming through. When we look at wealth, again, difficulties in getting long-term commitments, possibly if you're trying to sell something and get someone to buy a product for 12 months, they may only want it for 1 month. If you're trying to find a job, they may want temporary to permanent work. So understanding that there's going to be some challenges this month. It's not a permanent state, but I do see it coming through this month. When we look at love, spending more time with those that you love, treasure them, let them know. And it's also important, as this card reminds us, to have deep relationships with people in our life, whether it's your family, a loved one, a pet. It's important to love and be loved. Finally, and most importantly, we have the Destiny card. And with this, it's a sense of emotional playfulness, of allowing yourself to just be free. So if you're in a relationship and you're guarded, this card is also saying, let the guard down a little bit. Allow that person to come into the veneer. Let them see who you truly are. And if you're trying to attract someone new in your life, it comes in a moment of not being or paying attention to yourself, just being in the moment. And so when you're free, when you're not so basically measured in how you're putting yourself out socially, that's when someone notices you and is just drawn to your natural ability to be charismatic and fun. So that is everything for this month. If you'd ever like more of a personalized reading, you can reach out to me. I'll put a link in the description area below that includes contact information and how to book an appointment on my website if you'd like. If you'd like to stay in touch, there are a few ways to do so. One is to subscribe to this channel or to opt into notifications, and there's 2 icons for that right under the video area. You can also join my newsletter, and I'm also on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, so whatever works for you. All of those areas are a great way to know when I've released new content or if there's any pertinent news for the channel. If you'd like to support the channel, that's absolutely welcome. I have a couple ways you can do that. One is to go to the website. You can do a one-time donation there. And I also am on Patreon now, the same username as YouTube, or the same handle. And so feel free to give back if you'd like to. This is a viewer-supported channel, so it'd be much appreciated. I also want to take a moment just to express gratitude for everybody that shows up every month, that not only is working on themselves, but also giving back to this community. Wonderful likes, subscribes, and shares. Thank you for doing that. But most importantly, thank you for working on yourself so that you can become a better version of yourself. And if I've been able to help in any way, then I'm honored. So from my heart to yours, I wish you a lot of love, success, and abundance this month. Take care of yourselves, be kind to yourself and others. And remember, your message this month was to try to stay open, to enjoy the freedom when and if possible, particularly in doing unusual things, having fun. It's important to let your guard down from time to time. Take care of yourselves. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.